Ladies and gentlemen, if you could see the janky ass way I've got this set up. This is the third time I'm attempting to record this. This is our 450 subscriber special. We did it. Good job. You all played your parts wonderfully, marvelously. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. I'm going to need something to drink. And it's just water, as far as you know. Could be Everclear, could be gin. Could be water. I tell you, there's only one thing that makes me cough like that, folks, and it is not liquor. Anyway, hi, we hit 450 subscribers just this morning. And just yesterday, I thought, we're getting pretty close. I should record that video. So I recorded it. It's about an hour and a half long. Hope you're ready. And got it over onto the computer, which took multiple steps. I think my motherboard is dying, so I got to get a new one. Because my USBs are not USBing properly. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and re-record it. So I started re-recording it this morning, and the audio in the first one was real bad. It's not going to be great in this one, but the audio in the first one was real bad. So dug out all this other stuff and set it all up, and was going to record audio from two different sources and pick the better one. And it was okay, but about 30 minutes in, the audio that I was recording on my Tascam stopped because the Tascam died. So I've got my old phone set up here doing the camera thing. That's why we get this lovely background thing going on. Let's see if I can remember how to fix that. I thought I had it fixed. Maybe I don't. Maybe that button. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we'll deal with it. Anyway, so that's set up via Droid Cam going into my PC on the other side of the room. Recording directly into OBS. I've got a mic clamped to the mic stand because the phone is in the mic clip because my phone holder went to crap. I don't want to spend a lot of money on this stuff because I don't do it very often. So I don't spend a lot of money on this stuff. But the one time I did spend a lot of money on this stuff, it still went to crap. So who knows? Let's get started. And we're going to start up here, over there, with the GameCube. Now the GameCube, you may notice, is over there. And the GameCube is over there. It's because that's where it fit on the shelf. And that's where the GameCube games are. The Wii usually sits on top of it, but the Wii is currently hooked up because we are recording a GameCube game. I purchased my Wii before I purchased my GameCube, and I purchased the GameCube after the fact because I always wanted a GameCube. Never had one, always wanted one. Was kind of at that point in my life where, consoles weren't going to be Christmas presents anymore. If you wanted one, you're on your own. And I had just moved out of my parents' house, not too long after high school, and wasn't making a lot of money. So sacrifices had to be made, and video game consoles was one of those sacrifices. So many years later, I picked up a Wii. I think the Wii had been out for 2 or 3 years, maybe not even. And then about a year after that, I grabbed the GameCube. So in the interim, I was buying games because you could play them on one or the other. So that's my story. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So a lot of these games I picked up because it was something that looked interesting. It was a name I knew, or it was cheap. Honestly, when we get down to the PlayStation 2 games, there's going to be an awful lot of, I got this because it was cheap. And there's a few GameCube and Wii games I also bought because they were cheap. I don't think this one was cheap, though. This is Animal Crossing. And I haven't played it, but I've heard it talked about very highly. And I thought this might be a fun game to stream sometime. I've seen next to no footage of it. I've never played it. But from what I have been told about it, it's kind of a, not a chill game, but kind of a cozy game, I guess. And sometimes we like to stream those when we're trying to be a little more, I need to fix that. That white balance that's bad. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I don't know. Figure why the hell not. So I grabbed it. Okay, hopefully that's better. I apologize. So the next game we're going to look at is one that is actually sitting in the Wii right now. Amazing. It's one that if you're watching this sometime July, August 2026, it's the game we're currently Let's Playing. It's the first RPG I bought for my Wii, Baten Kaitos Origins. This is one I picked up because it looked interesting. I saw the front and I thought, well, that's interesting. After I saw the spine, I thought, what the hell does that mean? And I looked at the back of the box, like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. That looks kind of RPG-ish, I thought. So I grabbed it. I'd never played anything quite like it before. In terms of combat, this was made by Namco in partnership with Monolith and Tri-Ace, who did Star Ocean: The Second Story. Known far and wide for their fantastic voice acting. This one does have much better voice acting than the first game. Basically, this is what I think is an ideal sequel. Everything the first game did right, it kept. Maybe with minor improvements. Everything the first game was a little weak on, it strengthened. So I think this is a great game. Fantastic. Beautiful graphics. Beautiful graphics, phenomenal music, really good voice acting in this one. An interesting and involved combat system. Very similar, in fact, to Baten Kaitos Eternal Wings on the Lost Ocean, the sequel to Origins. This came out first. Graphics are essentially the same. Music is essentially the same. Nintendo wasn't involved with this one. They were a little more involved with Origins. In this game, the voice acting is not as good. Combat's a little more unique, but other than that, it's essentially the same kind of game. There is a Let's Play of this on the channel and the website if you want to check it out. I think it's one of the finest games on the GameCube. Well, this one and Origins. Next in this itty-bitty case is DDR, the Mario mix. Many, many years ago, your old pal Jason here, hard to believe. I was dating a woman. I know, dating. Imagine that. And she was really into rave culture. What made us hook up, I have no idea to this day. But she got me doing DDR on the PS2. And we had a lot of fun doing that. Oh, look, it's me. Hi. We had a lot of fun doing that until she decided I was catching up to her in ability, and then she didn't want to do it anymore. So I thought, I need something to kind of motivate me to get into shape a little more. So I thought, well, I could do some of this. These weren't too expensive, and I have a pad sitting right behind me. I think it's got some problems, though. I don't remember why I put it away. Oddly enough, since this is a Mario game, even though it is DDR, there is basically a story mode like almost every other Mario sports game made in the last 20 years. Tennis, golf, something else, I'm sure. It's interesting. Coming up next, we have another RPG for the GameCube, Final Fantasy: The Crystal Chronicles from Square Enix, who, my opinion, Square was better. Enix was better. Square Enix is, the sum is less than the whole of the parts. So I grabbed this because I'm a Final Fantasy fan, big Final Fantasy fan, or at least I was until recently. And I thought, well, that'd be fun to play on my GameCube. And it's not your traditional Final Fantasy game. It's a single player, third person kind of action RPG, almost hack and slash kind of thing, where you choose one of these 4 races to play as. This is your agile character, your strong character, your balanced character, your magic character, with the Madonna outfit there. And your job is to carry around a bucket and go to these magic trees. That's this thing. And you get a drop from the magic tree, and then you prevent the mist from Final Fantasy IX from taking over the world. Except it's called Miasma. This lets you connect 4 characters, 4 different players with the Game Boy Advance thing. I don't know why you couldn't just do it with controllers. I guess you probably could. I often use this game as a test when I have new hardware or software for capturing consoles, because the intro is very nice. It's gorgeous graphics again. I don't know why people dump on the GameCube so much. So many of the games have just amazingly good graphics. Better than most of the PS2 games. I said it. But yeah, it's normally what I go with when I want to do stuff like that. I got as far as that guy, and he killed me. Dive into surrealism with Grasshopper Manufacture and Suda51 gives us Killer 7. Killer 7 is a game that there is a Let's Play of on the site and YouTube. First-person on-rails shooter with some puzzle elements, cel-shaded graphics, and a plot that would make Metal Gear scratch its head. I love this game. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's a phenomenal game. Really, really good. Go watch it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Go watch it. Shout out to Chip Cheesem for introducing me to Killer 7. Here's one we're going to get around to playing eventually. Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I love this game. I haven't finished this game. When I started collecting Wii games and GameCube games, it was when I started Let's Playing. And I kind of split my time 50-50 between playing for fun and Let's Playing. And as Let's Playing became a bigger thing, this got a little less time. So I would start a game, and then I would stop because I had Let's Plays to work on, or streams, or gigs, or whatever. You know, life over here. And then when I came back to it, I wouldn't have any idea where the hell I was, what the hell I was doing. So I just quit. So I haven't played a lot of this. But what I did play, I enjoyed. I love the graphical style. I know that's kind of a sore point for some people, but I really like it. I really like the music. I like that it's a serious game, but it has some comedic moments that are kind of fun. Yeah, just love the graphics. Love the cel shaded thing. I think this is going to be fun when we get around to Let's Playing it. Next we have Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, this may be just as hard to believe as me dating somebody once upon a time. But I used to have friends, and they used to come over to my house, and we used to play video games, which is why I picked up Double Dash. Not a big Mario Kart fan. I'm not a big racing game fan. But this one is a lot of fun. I enjoyed the heck out of this game. You see, here's the gimmick. You have a pilot and a co-pilot. Your pilot pilots. Your co-pilot co-pilots. Pilot, co-pilot. Pilot, co-pilot. So Mario drives the car, the lawnmower looking thing here. And then Luigi is on the back throwing shells, fireballs, whatever. And then all the different racers, etc., etc. I think this is really good, and it's probably my favorite Mario Kart game. Another one that we have a Let's Play of over on the channel and the website is Mega Man X Command Mission. Somebody requested this one. I cannot remember who it was. If it was you, let me know, because this is a good game. I think it's a lot of fun. It's an RPG set in the Mega Man X universe. I don't know where it fits in chronologically. Sometime after 7, because Axel's here. But how much after? I don't know. Again, kind of cell shaded graphics, I think are really good. The music's very modern Mega Man-y, so it's a little obnoxious, but not too bad. It has an interesting combat system, decent enough story, lots of good characters, plenty of stuff to do alongside the main storyline, and yeah, I think it's good. If they made a follow-up, Command Mission 2, I would absolutely get it and play it. This is not top tier by any means, but it's a really solid game, and I like it. Here's something that doesn't have any cell shading in it. It's jam-packed arcade action, folks, for $3.99. Midway's Arcade Treasures. It's just one of these collections of arcade games featuring such hits as Spy Hunter, Gauntlet, Rampage, Sinistar, Bubbles, Smash TV, Marble Madness, Tubin, Clax, Splat, Satan's Hollow, The Vindicators, and Root Beer Tapper. When I bought the Wii, I didn't know really what to get when it came to games. So when I was buying GameCube games, the first couple things I bought were basically stuff like this. I had a Mega Man collection and a Zelda collection. I gave both of those away. And I had Bat and Kaitos, and I think one other game we'll look at, but this I picked up much later. It was $4. Like I said, a lot of these games you're going to see on here are games I picked up just because they were cheap. And this was cheap. Metroid Prime is next, and this is it. Look at it. It's Metroid and Prime. It's Smouse with her giant shoulder pads with fans in them to keep her cool, because it's the Varia suit. This links to Metroid Fusion for your Game Boy Advance, somehow. The first of the Prime games, the first Metroid game on the GameCube. Graphically, I gotta be honest, this game holds up better than some games I've seen today. I think the graphics in this game are phenomenal. I think the music is phenomenal. I don't love first-person platforming, but it's not too bad. I appreciate that in this game, Samus is a silent protagonist. I appreciate that any and all of the story is optional, whether you choose to read it or not. Because the thing that bogs down Metroid more than anything else, because I've just now finished Metroid Fusion getting uploaded, is all the talking. All the talking. We don't need it. Doesn't have to be. Samus is a silent protagonist. She says, ow, oof, ah. That's all Samus should say. It distracts from the better things when there's talking. I've played part of this. I think I made it to the second boss. Same reason. I start and then get busy doing something else, then forget to come back to it. The rock guy, Thardus, I think. Yeah. Well, let's play this someday because we're going through all the Metroid games and all the Zelda games. And all the Castlevania games. Another early addition to my library was Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door. It's a bestseller. It's another RPG. I have more RPGs for the GameCube than I remembered. I just got it because I heard Paper Mario was good. So I grabbed it. That was really it. I don't love Mario RPGs because there is an awful lot of talking. One of the reasons I haven't done a Let's Play of Mario RPG, the 7 stars, is because of all the talking. I really don't need it in my life. Maybe someday we'll do it. Maybe not. I don't know. One notable thing about Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door, is it's one of the quickest game overs you can get in games that I'm aware of. After you start the game and you actually can start playing the game, you'll have a conversation with somebody. They say, will you go on this journey and help us save the universe from the evil angry Yoshi? And you can say no. And then it says, oh, okay, game over. The game just says, okay, no. I remember having a decent enough time. I don't think I played much of it. Our next game, thanks to Upstart DJ for introducing me to this, is Pikmin. Pikmin is another game. Graphically, I think this game is gorgeous. The character designs are very simple, obviously, but the environments, the backgrounds, are just amazingly good. The gameplay is fun. The music's really good. I am not very good at this game. I'd like to let's play it for you someday. But yeah, thanks Upstart. Super appreciated. If you guys want to see somebody who's good at Pikmin, go watch Upstart DJ. It's old videos, but they're really good. Really good. I like this game. Of all the games that Scarlett sent me, this one might be the best. And that's saying something. It's Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. There is a Let's Play of this on the website and the YouTube channel. It's Pokemon. It's for the GameCube. It's Pokemon. Basically, that's all it is. It's just Pokemon on the GameCube. There's our hero. We named him Scarlet. He's got a robo arm. And that's his, sorry, that focus. If I autofocus it, it does this thing. So I manually focused it, and now I can't get too close. That is, Smeagol, right? No, that's an Eevee. I know a little bit. I'm not great at Pokemon. This was okay. You know, I Let's Played it. I never have to play it again. That's okay. This is a game I picked up because I used to get asked about these all the time, why I've never played any of them, and honestly, it's just so that I don't like them. I don't like these games, and not because they're spooky or scary, I just don't like how they play. I don't like the play style, but I have bought a couple, given them a try, and I still don't like them. But this is Resident Evil 0. I probably got this for $5 or less, based on the thrift store sticker here. It's a prequel. I think his name is Billy. That's Rebecca. Bravo team. Military transport. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's all I really know. I played enough to, I think, get out of the tutorial area. I thought, yeah, okay. That's all I need. Another game I picked up relatively early, mostly because I knew the name. I'd never played any of the other games in the series, which at the time wasn't very many. But it's Soul Calibur 2. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of fighting games, but I bought it because, you know, it was cheap at the time and I needed games, and it had Link in it. So, it ended up being relatively fun. Again, I think the graphics are really good. The music's pretty good. The combat's okay. It does get a little Mortal Kombat 2-ish, if you know what I'm saying. And the story mode's a little, you know, unrewarding, I guess. But no, it's fun enough. Now, the box art on this next one is incredible. This is Star Fox Adventures. I like that it's not only printed, but handwritten. Picked this up at the local Play and Trade, which is no longer in business in my market. I didn't know anything about this other than it was a Star Fox game, so surprise, surprise, when I opened it, put it in the GameCube and started playing it, and it was a third-person Mario 64 Spyro kind of thing. There's, I guess, a little bit of flight, but I never saw much. If I remember right, there's dinosaurs in this. And a blue lady. I don't remember. I didn't play it very much. It's strange. And to go along with it in this just beautiful, beautiful box, it's not grody at all, is Star Fox Assault. I have not played this one. But looking at it, I believe this is more traditional Star Fox. Why they gave him that mouth, I don't know. That's not a good look, buddy. It's not a good look. But yeah, never played this one. Never had it out of the case. Yeah, probably picked it up because looking at this case, I'll bet it was, again, $5 or less. Next we have Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2, or Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader, or Star Leader Squadron Rogue Wars Rogue 2. 2 Leader Star Rogue Wars Squadron Rogue? I don't know. Star Wars Rogue Squadron for the N64 is really good. And I really enjoyed it. So I bought this. And I played the first level, and it was really good. And then I got to the second level, and the second level was that stupid Hoth thing where you have to tie the legs together, you know, from Empire Strikes Back. And every one of these games has had that, and they're all annoying. So I never made it past the second stage. Not because it's hard, because I don't care. Stop doing that. But we'll let's play this someday. I think if you have a GameCube, you're required to own a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee, as our good friend Phil would say. I don't really care for Smash Brothers. I really don't. I don't like the setup. I don't like how it plays. I've played it. I played it a bunch, but it's just not, you know. Had I never played it, my life would not be worse off. As we start digging through these, we're going to find more and more games from Ubisoft, and this is one of them. This is 1313, or just 13, or 131313. I don't know. Probably $1 by the look at that. Probably $1. Look kind of like a first-person shooter kind of thing. You know, a GoldenEye, James Bondy thing, but it's Ubisoft, so it's bad. Who is 13.com? I don't know. I really don't know. But it has blood and intense violence. Wow. I did play this for a little bit. I think we tried to stream it once. And just the controls were kind of janky and weird, so never really went back to it. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I won't. Now, I loved me some Turok on the N64. I have the first one. I have Rage Wars, which I really liked, oddly enough, even though it's like a Unreal Tournament Arena kind of thing. But I saw there was a Turok game for the GameCube, so I got it. And I have played a little bit of this, but it's not particularly exciting or good or bad. Maxim, that guy from Lufia, gave it a 5 out of 5. Game Informer said high-powered and groundbreaking weapons. Didn't talk about the gameplay, just the weapons. Game Now says every FPS fan in the country will be taking weeks off to play this game. Now, I don't think that came to pass, because I don't know a single person who has played this game. And if they played it, they're not admitting it. I mean, the box art is really good. But gameplay-wise, it's not the finest. Not the finest graphics for the GameCube. So, which is weird, because Acclaim, you know, Acclaim had money to put into stuff. There's a twofer for Ufer from Clover. And Capcom, it's Beautiful Joe 1 and 2. I don't recall if anybody asked me to Let's Play these, or if I just wanted to because I liked the look of it. So there are Let's Plays of these on the site and YouTube, and I'm particularly bad at both of them. I did get better eventually, just like that guy from the Monty Python thing. Really had a good time, and when I finished the second one, I was all excited for the third one, but there's not a Beautiful Joe 3 that I'm aware of. There's a Red Hot Rumble for some handhelds, but it's basically like a Smash Brothers with Beautiful Joe characters, and had they made Beautiful Joe 3, we would have played it, because it's so, I think, just like literally says we're ready for the third part of the trilogy in this game, and we never got it, which makes me sad. I like these games. One of the games I had the most fun with on the N64 was Wave Race 64. I think it's a great game. We had a PlayStation, and on the PlayStation we had Jet Moto, 2 copies of it for some reason. And Jet Moto is very similar to Wave Race 64, except Jet Moto is very aggressive, a lot of branding, Mountain Dew all over the place, that kind of thing. Wave Race, much more relaxed, much more chill. And so I picked up Wave Race Blue Storm from the thrift store. And I think I played like 1 or 2 laps of a game on here. Yeah, still, it's just nice and chill, man, compared to the other games. Though this, I mean, it does talk it up pretty heavy, that it's going to be a little more aggressive, but it's, from what I remember, it's just not. Moving on to the Wii games, and I'd show you the Wii, but do I need to show you the Wii? You've seen a Wii. It's over there hooked up to the computer. Sega do what Nintendo don't, ladies and gentlemen. And what Sega do is have their games made for Nintendo consoles. Nintendo don't do that with Sega. So this is Alien Syndrome. I seem to recall there being an arcade game with the same name, or maybe an NES game, Master System. I don't remember for sure. According to this, it's an RPG, and looking at those directions, the instructions, it doesn't really sound like it's an RPG to me. It sounds more action-y, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I've ever played it. I don't think we've busted it open and really looked at it, but somebody wrote a number on it, so that's pretty cool. Don't get that all the time. This is an early Wii game I got called Baroque. It's from the nice people at Atlas, which means it's weird. It's a strange game. It's a dungeon crawler, kind of a roguelike, kind of. Copyright Nintendo and Sting. I don't know what Sting did. Maybe they developed it and Atlas published it. I don't know. Yeah, it's strange. It's kind of this weird post-apocalyptic, mutated people, dungeon, tower, mandarin oranges. I don't know. It's strange. Because it's an Atlas game, so it's a little strange. It's a mystery, everybody. It was 99 cents in August of 24. What could it be? Ba-na-na-na. It's DDR, Hottest Party. Yeah, so you know the DDR story. There's another game. I paid $1 for it. Hooray! I heard about this game called Blue World, or maybe it was Endless Ocean. I think Endless Ocean is the name. And so I grabbed it. And this is kind of like a walking simulator kind of thing, if I remember right. There's no combat. I don't even know if you have a health bar. You just swim. You just swim and look around at wildlife. Like there's a fish, and there's a fish, and there's a fish, and there's some penguins, and there's a dolphin. Oh boy. It's compatible with We Speak, whatever that is. Erica made it. My experience, you never trust an Erica, spells her name like that. But I seem to recall this being just kind of, again, nice, chill little, not much to it. There's a PC game. Azure something? I don't remember. I think it's similar to this. Next, from the fine people at Square Enix. Square was great. Enix was great. They came together. At least Square got worse. I don't know what Enix has been doing, but Square got worse. This is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, The Crystal Bearers. I don't think it's a direct sequel or a sequel of any kind to the GameCube version. It's 2-player co-op in special areas, so not even all the time. It's much more action-y. You had to like grapple with the Wiimote kind of thing. That's why his hand's purple and he's got a thing on his face and I don't know. I know I played about 20-30 minutes of this and yeah, I don't know. I don't remember much about it. But he has gravity powers, I guess. And there's a lady. You're gonna wear pants so short. Why wear socks so tall? Next, from Ubisoft again. They were really in their element when it came to these consoles. It's from Cranium, Kabuki. Kabukai? Kabukui? I don't know. It's got 2 eyes. It's family night fun for everyone. Woo! This is a, kind of party game, board game kind of thing. I don't remember too much about it. I know I played it a time or two. One fancy thing, though. Comes with special glasses, so you can look at things in a special way and see special secrets. Yeah. See? Special. Do you see how special it is? It's very special. I'm glad it had those, because if it didn't, it'd probably be screwed. I remember it being okay. I don't remember it being amazingly great, but it's okay. And I appreciate the, what a cartoon / they might be giants looking animation. That is clearly Dr. Worm. Time for another special one. This is a collection. Told you it was special. This is Kirby's Dream Collection, the Special Edition. It features 6 classic titles, like Dreamland, Adventure, Dreamland 2, Superstar, Dreamland 3, and Kirby 64. I think I picked this up specifically for Kirby 64. I think. Or maybe just to have them. I don't remember. It's a neat little collection. Got a real nice looking guidebook. Has the compilation soundtrack right there. And a really just gorgeous disc. I think that is very well printed. I like it. But it's basically just emulated versions of the Kirby games. There's no upscaling or anything, so they look like they do pretty much anywhere. In fact, they probably look better on an emulator because you can upscale. So, yeah. Are you ready to become a legend by firing projectiles with precision simply by aiming at the screen with the pointer? Won't that be precise? It's the biggest Zelda adventure of all time. Twilight Princess. I think this is available also for the GameCube, but I think I found it for the Wii first, so that's the one I bought. 16:9 widescreen presentation, only on the Wii. So, it is my understanding that you like Wind Waker and not this, or you like this and not Wind Waker. I don't know why you can't like both. Don't know anything about it. Haven't played it. I've tested emulating it a couple times, and it just never really quite emulated right. So I never have done much with this. But this will be Let's Played someday as well. Now this one, I forgot I even had. I thought this was something else just sitting up there. It was like right on top, you know, sitting sideways like that. And so I forgot what it was. But it turns out it's Skyward Sword. I didn't know I had this. This is good because this is on our list to play, and it's one of the earlier Zelda games, chronologically. But I think you need the Motion Plus for this, and I don't think I had Motion Plus at the time. I think I have it now, though. And it also came with the Zelda 25th Anniversary Symphony on the back. So that's exciting. Forgot all about this. I'll have to get that ripped onto the computer. Yeah. I know there's a sword, and I know it's Skyward. That's all I got. The lone black box in the shelf of Wii games is, because this is one I bought used and had to get my own label for. And I didn't do the spine for some reason. But it's a little King story. I got to shout out Upstart DJ for this one because, again, I would not know about this game without him. And I love this game. This is one of the best games overall. Presentation, the graphics are gorgeous, the music's gorgeous, I love the story, the gameplay's fun. There's so much to do. It is such a fun game. And it also introduced me to Xseed, who I've done quite a bit with. I did a Let's Play of this years and years ago when the old channel got shut down. I replayed it, the PC version, which was rife with problems. Oh, but there's a Let's Play of this, should you want to check it out. Love this game. Thanks, Upstart. So after Double Dash, I do have another Mario Kart Wii game. Well, it's Mario Kart Wii. I should have said Mario Kart, and it is Mario Kart Wii. I don't like this one as much as the other one. I think Double Dash is the superior game. But this is another one that's just, you know, friends come over, we get drunk, and we play. Because as much as I would like to, we cannot get drunk and play Anticipation all the time. But I would like to. This is I think some people would call it a dark time. I think I would be one of them. For a beloved game series and heroine, Metroid Other M, or Metroid Otherm. here's what I have to say about this. I've played maybe an hour and a half, not a whole lot of this. The cutscenes, the graphics are really good. The talking and the story and the characters, really bad. The gameplay, pretty fun. So, if there were a way to play this game without all the dialogue, without any of the plot seeping in, this would be good, I think. But this really ruined Samus for a lot of people. And it's a prequel to Fusion, but in a way, it's almost a sequel to Fusion, because a lot of what Fusion did, this expanded on, and I think that's another thing that made this game worse. There's just so much poor story and poor dialogue. Unfortunately, we will have to let's play it someday. Got another pair of games for you here. These are both from a company called UFO. Starfish SD 2007 says this one. And Starfish SD 2008 says this one. That's funny and kind of not, and you'll see why. These were less than $3 a piece, I think. First one is the Monkey King. The legend begins. And it sure does. It has full tilt control, ladies and gentlemen. Utilize the unique Wii control features to command the Monkey King and his magical cloud as you attempt to restore peace to the heavenly kingdom. Larger than life bosses, hordes of enemies. Slow, fast. It almost looks like a mobile game. It's a side-scrolling shooter. And I present to you Saint, which came out a year later. You are legend. You are the Saint. Epic boss fights, 3D scrolling levels, bonus characters, 12 upgradable weapons, and power-ups. You are still the Monkey King. It's still a side-scrolling shooter, but sometimes it goes vertical. Literally, it is the same game. The levels, I think, are a little different. It's almost like one was ported from a different region, but they're the same game. They're the exact same game. And I didn't know that when I bought them. I think I bought this one first thinking, well, that looks kind of interesting. I like the logo. I like the artwork. And then I played it. I'm like, oh, this sucks. This really could have been a very early PlayStation 1 game or a late Super Nintendo game. And then I bought this one quite some time later thinking it was going to be different. And no, it's the same. They're bad. Ignition Entertainment brings us Muramasa, the Demon Blade. A side-scrolling 2D action game. Two distinct ninja characters, each with unique endings and bosses to topple. We'll look at another game or two here. One of them's right there. It's Odin Sphere. Graphically, this is very similar to Odin Sphere. I think I've played a little bit of this. And I seem to recall it being very pretty. But it kind of has that made in Flash vibe to it, which I don't really like. But I didn't remember much about it. I never heard of it when I bought it, and it just looked interesting. So I got it. Another one from Ubisoft graces our doorstep here. Kind of, I've not played the game yet, ladies and gentlemen. Because, other things. I wanted to experience this one live in a Let's Play form. I have seen other people play it, but I haven't watched. I've seen that other people have played it. Let me say it like that. I kind of just, by looking at it, I think I get some, like, Buckaroo Banzai vibes from this. And it's No More Heroes. And Ubisoft again. I know his name is Travis Touchdown. Assassins, Killers, Vixen, and Destruction. What does that all mean? I don't know. It's probably been over a year since since I streamed this, but the next game is one I bought fairly early when I had my Wii, and it's Okami. Now, we streamed the HD version for the PC. I was never very good at this on the Wii because you had to do the paintbrush thing, and at the time, my right hand index finger wasn't healed yet. I still have no feeling up here, and I can't straighten it more than like that. And it was very difficult to pull the trigger on the Wiimote. So I was very bad at this. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous game. Was this pure Capcom? I want to say Clover was involved in this somehow. Maybe not. But a very pretty game. Very, very pretty game. I'm a big fan of the art style. It's kind of a Zelda-y kind of game when it comes to gameplay. Downside is talking. Talking. There is so much talking, and so little of it needs to be done. We're a silent protagonist. All we can do is bark. So everybody talks for us, and everybody needs to shut up. We dropped the game. We dropped streaming it because of all the dialogue. Got another pair of games, this time from Ubisoft again. And I bought these specifically because of the box art. Because I kind of thought this could be like a Quentin Tarantino movie. And that is Red Steel and Red Steel 2. Because who doesn't want a samurai cowboy death reaper thing? Obviously, I got that one for $7. I got that one for $9. I haven't played either of them because I think this one needs Motion Plus for sure. I don't know about this one. And since I didn't have Motion Plus for a long time, I never even took them out of the box. So, can't tell you much about them other than we'll look at them someday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of like some of them Star Wars. And I kind of don't care about that Lego stuff. But I did watch with Chip and Ironicus, Chip Cheesem and General Ironicus play through Lego Star Wars. Now, this is the complete saga. So it's episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I appreciate the gameplay, and I appreciate the humor in these games. There's a lot of humor, and I think it's pretty fun. Especially when it comes to Chewbacca. There's a thing Chewbacca does that I really like. I'd like to play this someday for everybody, so I think we might. Our next game comes from Destineer and Digital Embryo. I got tired of playing Wii Sports all the time, so I got Summer Sports, Paradise Island, and it's just some more kind of sports-based games. Badminton, volleyball, miniature golf, horseshoes, lawn darts, basketball, and croquet. They're addictive. There are 7 of them. There's that guy. I don't think I've played this yet. If I have, I don't remember. Xseed brought us Little King Story. Xseed also brings us Valhalla Knights, the Eldar saga. Eldar. Not Elder, Eldar. I believe I've played half an hour or so of this. I'm almost sure I have. Much darker in terms of gameplay than Little King Story. Much more, I don't want to say realistic, but not quite as cartoony. Looks to be an action RPG, maybe? Maybe? I can't tell. I can't tell. Yeah. Marvelous Entertainment and Xseed Games. Valhalla Knights, the Eldar saga. And to round out this shelf, we have Wii Sports, obviously, and Wii Fit Plus, which I've got some rechargeable batteries in my balance board, and I'm recharging it right now because I need to start getting back into doing stuff like this. I'm not quite full on midlife crisis yet, but we're getting there. Basically, I feel like crap all the time, and I'd like to not to. And everything medically wise I've had checked out so far says, no, you're fine. So we're just going to try and be a little more active. So we got these. Now that's going to finish the top shelf. I'm going to stop the video right now, make sure everything's good. I did a little test previously, but I'm going to stop again, make sure it's good. And if it's good, we'll come back. We'll do the next 3, 4, 5, 6 or so shelves. Okay, folks, I went and watched. It was fine. It was just fine. I can be happy with fine. We like fine. Do you like fine? Let's continue on with the next shelf, which is PlayStation 1 games, etc. Starting off with Blaster Master, Blasting Again, from Crave Entertainment. There's Blaster Master. There's a second Blaster Master on the Game Boy, I think. There's a Blaster Master on the Genesis, and then there's this one. Remember Blaster Master? Due to popular demand, this immortal legend is blasting back, resurrected as a 3D action bonanza. I'm going to read you the back of this, because it's insane. Okay. Our old champion Jason, weary of his battles, has passed away, and his heroic crown has fallen to Roddy, his only son and heir. Roddy, with the help of his sister Elfie, that is destined to seek out and destroy the treacherous half-flesh, half-machine mutations that are steadily multiplying beneath the earth. I'm going to read that sentence for you one more time. It is Roddy, with the help of his sister Elfie, that is destined to seek out and destroy the treacherous half-flesh, half-machine mutations that are steadily multiplying beneath the earth. Destined, ladies and gentlemen. It's destiny. Having depleted the space they have occupied since their supposed demise, that's a weird way to say it, they are now burrowing their way to the very core of the earth. They should be melting on the way. And ultimately threatening the stability of the entire planet, which, you know, that's good for everybody involved. Roddy must trek through the Earth's crust and find a way to stop this terrible infestation. Like woodworms, they will leave the Earth rotten, a dusky husk that will collapse in on itself. So that's all, you know, pretty standard stuff. It's the last sentence. Roddy will reveal the secret of Eve, his alien mother, and will uncover the idiosyncrasies of Sophia and will fight and win. So, apparently Jason from the first game hooked up with an alien and then spawned that guy, and maybe a sister? We don't know if she's half alien. But is Eve his alien mother, or is it Eve and his alien mother? And we'll uncover, because it's weird phrasing, I think. Like, that's some cool art. Like, that's all right. But the game is terrible. It's 3D, third person, basically, excuse me, like a Ratchet and Clank kind of thing, but you're a tank. And there's a lot of, it's very anime, if I remember right. And much like Mega Man 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, I think Elfie, the sister, is constantly popping in going, Mega Man, Mega Man. Those instant death spikes, if you touch them, you're going to die instantly, Mega Man. Don't do it, it's bad. So I grabbed it because it's Blaster Master. Who doesn't love Blaster Master? Well, if you played this one, you wouldn't love Blaster Master. Speaking of blasting and disappointments, there's a price tag on here. It says $11.99, and I hope to God Scarlett didn't pay $11.99 for this. He sent me some PlayStation games, and I think he was mad at me. because none of them were very good. This is Blasto. 3D action exploration platformer. Pretty poor. This is a Sony original, if I remember right. And he is here to save Uranus, but he didn't name the planet. This game is so incredibly generic on every level. It would be completely unforgettable, or completely forgettable, excuse me. Except for Phil Hartman voicing Blasto. Excuse me, Phil Hartman voicing Blasto. I think this is the last thing he did before he died. And you'd think that would be a big thing. You know, this is going to be like a Duke Nukem kind of thing, right? But kind of 50s and kind of cheesy, and it would have been better. Blasto does have a lot of lines, a lot of Phil Hartman-esque lines during the stages. Well, let me rephrase that. Blasto's got a very few lines that he says multiple times throughout the course of the stage. Phil Hartman is very underutilized in this very below average game. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I played Jersey Devil. We'll talk about that later, which Scarlett sent me. This is worse. So there is a stream of Blasto available to check out should you want. There's also a stream of this, which is much, much better. This is Chrono Cross. I love this game. I think this is a phenomenal game. The graphics are great. The music is great. The gameplay is great. Everything about it is just great. It's even a greatest hit. See? It says so. There is a stream of this. We had a Let's Play of it, but it was lost to the sands of time, so we streamed it. And this is also the game that we decided we weren't going to stream long RPGs anymore after this game. I think technically this is a sequel to Chrono Trigger. However, I don't see it quite as a sequel. I see it almost more as a prequel. And let me tell you why. Chrono Trigger follows a timeline. 65 million BC, 12,000, 600, 1,000, so on and so forth, right? This game happens in the middle of all that. The events of Chrono Trigger are referenced around this game. But if the events that take place in this game and its split universes don't happen, Chrono Trigger doesn't happen. It's very strange how they did it, but it really works. I think it's a phenomenal game. It's one of my favorite PlayStation games, I would say. A lot of the PlayStation games I own, actually, I really do like. Because when I was buying PlayStation games, I was buying games I wanted to play. Not like the GameCube and the Wii and the PS2 when we get there, where it's just like, oh, this looks weird and cheap. So, Chrono Cross. Great game. Next on our PlayStation 2 list is a great game done wrong. A lot of that happened on the PlayStation. And it happened real bad with Diablo here. This is the first Diablo, the 2-player PlayStation edition. Graphically, musically, in almost every way, it is identical, almost every way, to the PC version. It's got a 4.5 out of 5 on PSM Magazines, which is PlayStation Magazine, or PlayStation Monthly, probably. I don't know. Here's the problem. You see this? 16 randomly generated labyrinths are different every time. The problem with Diablo on the PlayStation is load times. Those load times, I am not kidding you. 10 minutes, 15 minutes sometimes to load a floor, because it has to be generated on the spot. So you'd think it speeds up a little bit the next time. It does not. It does not. And when you have 16 labyrinths, right? 16 randomly generated labyrinths, That is an awful lot of load time. So every time you go down a floor, you've got that 10 minutes of load time. Every time you go up a floor, 10, 15 minutes of load time. And I'm not exaggerating that. I timed it once. The game would be great because this one actually works pretty well on a controller, much better than some of the other ones do. But it's unplayable because of the load times, which we'll talk a little bit more in another game in just a minute. As much as I have dumped on this game, I do own a copy, and this is actually my second copy. My first copy was not a greatest hits, but it is Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy VII is fine, honestly. I don't know if this video will go out before or after, but I've made a Final Fantasy tier list, and you'll have to watch that to see where this sits. But my biggest problem with Final Fantasy VII isn't really the game, it's the fans of the game, because this game is full of problems, whether it's translation problems, mechanic problems, gameplay problems, story problems. This game is full of problems. But to a lot of people, this game is flawless, and that's a problem. A game that a lot of people dunk on, I think unfairly, is Final Fantasy VIII. This game has also got some problems, but the problems that are attributed to this game are not game problems. It is gameplay problems. And what I mean by that is the magic system, for example. The draw system. I know a lot of people hate the draw system because it's so boring and so slow, to which I respond, well, then don't do it. To which they will say, well, how else am I supposed to get magic? And I say, there's an entire system built in this game for you to get magic, and it's called refining. It's very cheap to open up the refining. It's very cheap to get magic from the refining. If you're doing the draw thing to try and max out your magic, that's your fault. You're doing it wrong. I think this is a better game than Final Fantasy VII. I do. You'll have to watch the tier list for more of that. Not a greatest hits. This is my original copy. Final Fantasy IX. The finest numbered Final Fantasy on the PlayStation, perhaps of all time. The older I get, the more I think so. Again, not a greatest hits, my original copy. Yeah, what can I... This game is damn near flawless. It's got brilliant story, fantastic music, great graphics, really good characters, better character development than the previous two games across the board. Better... Watch the tier list, okay? It's Final Fantasy IX. I mentioned load times when we were talking about Diablo, and another game that suffers from load times is this, Final Fantasy Origins. Now this is the remastered editions, but that's not entirely true. It's mentioned in the tier list, but there's Origins and there was also Anthology. And I think Anthology is the one that had 5 and 6. And I bought them both. I bought this one so I could play 2. I bought Anthology so I could play 5. Here's the problem, and it's load times. Cartridge, it's instant. It's damn near instant. Something happens. On a disc, you gotta wait. And that's not terrible, but Final Fantasy II has a ridiculously high encounter rate in most of the dungeons. And the dungeons in Final Fantasy II are not set up in any kind of way where you want to go through them. You know what I mean? They're horribly, horribly designed. And it basically makes the game 25-30% longer just because of load times. And because you level up the way you do in Final Fantasy II, it takes a very long time to get through the games. I'll mention this a bit in the tier list, but graphically, this is not new. These are the graphics taken from the Wonder Swan color version, I believe. And the music in these versions is the music that was used in the Pixel remaster versions. So it's just kind of lazy. You want my honest opinion? It's just kind of a lazy port. Still, I got it. Speaking of Final Fantasy, it's time for Tactics, and this is a greatest hits because this is my second version, my second copy. My first copy I actually played to the point where it would not read anymore. It was unreadable. This might be my favorite Final Fantasy game on the PlayStation, if not ever. Just, I love the artwork, I love the music, I love the story. I think this game gets the job system right, even over Final Fantasy V, which really kind of took the existing job system and really, you know, honed it, perfected it. And then I think Tactics here made it better. This is a phenomenal game. I absolutely love Tactics. Next, we have another game sent over by Scarlito hashtag, as he's known on the streets. Jersey Devil. I cannot verify this, but it is still my belief that the Jersey Devil was supposed to be a Squaresoft, or a Sunsoft game, excuse me, that was supposed to be a Looney Tunes tie-in of some sort. And much like Journey to Silius, where it was supposed to be a Terminator game, this is what we ended up with. Now, Sunsoft is not involved in this in any way, shape, or form that I can find. This is Behavior Interactive. And I thought for a long time that this was the worst game I had ever played. And then we played Blasto. And then we played a couple other games. And I changed my mind. And now I almost look back fondly on our time with Jersey Devil. Almost. Speaking of looking back fondly, here's Legend of Dragoon. A Sony original for the PlayStation. I believe this was launch title ordinarily. An RPG with rhythm combat elements. A very quote-unquote adult and mature story. Pretty decent graphics, pretty decent music. But I do not enjoy playing this game. It's got a very impressive opening cutscene, and that's about all I can give it. I have a hard time getting into this game, mostly because it is very slow. The combat is slow. The plot progression is slow. I've never finished this game. I think I made it to the second disc, maybe the start of the third, and just couldn't do it anymore. It was just too much. So I doubt I will ever Let's Play it. Scarlet has a really good Let's Play of this. If you want to check it out, find Scarlet. One game I am planning to Let's Play is Legend of Mana. I loved Secret of Mana. Absolutely love it. So when I saw there was another one, I picked this one up. And it's very, very different. Very different from Secret of Mana. But still very good. It's got a really good art style. The music's pretty good. It's just different. Like, combat's different. The way the world works is different. The way equipment works is different. I need to play that. I'm going to emulate that someday. I almost bought that, and I bought something else instead. And then this ended up being like a super rare game, and I should have bought it. Yeah, Legend of Mana. Really like it. A game I bought on a whim specifically for the box art. Oops, sorry. Lunar, Silver Star Story Complete. I looked at that and I said, well, I bet that's a fantasy game and it's probably an RPG. And it was. And it was also the first game I ever played that Working Designs did the localization for, and I love them for that. They are so good, them Working Designs people. So this was a port over from the Sega CD, I believe, initially. We have a soundtrack. We have a making of. The game's only 2 discs long. This came in like some kind of box thing, and it had a hardcover book with it. That was the instruction manual. I don't have that anymore. I wish I did. But I love the heck out of this game. It's kind of hard. It does go kind of slow. Not as slow as Legend of Dragoon. But playing through it and finishing it a few years back for the first time, I realized, this is basically Lufia if Lufia were good. Like, Lufia is okay, but gameplay-wise, Lufia is behind this for me. Even though Lufia is a little more modern, a little more advanced, this is just a funner game. And the working designs, localization, and voice acting really helps. There is a sequel called Lunar 2, Eternal Blue, and I do plan on Let's Playing that someday. Gonna pull out 2 from the shelf here. These are 2 games Scarlett sent me, which, again, I thought Jersey Devil was bad until I played these. Medieval 1 and 2. I don't know where he's finding these games, and I don't know why he's sending them to me. Like I said, I think he's mad at me. But they're much like Blasto, much like Jersey Devil. They're kind of third-person action platformer, hack and slash kind of things. Medieval 1 was better. Medieval 2 was not very good. Medieval 2 has one of the worst boss fights ever in all the video games, I think. Medieval 1's got a little bit more humor to it. Medieval 2, I don't know. It just wasn't very good. They just were not very fun. And wonky combat is really the thing that hurt these the most. Look at good Sir Dan's armor on this one. I look at it on that one. What the hell's going on there? There used to be a time, folks, when I could go to the store to buy a video game, and if it said Squaresoft on it, I could buy it. And I would know I was going to be having a pretty good time. And this is one of those times. And that game is Parasite Eve. Bought it specifically because it was a Squaresoft game. And ended up being one of my favorite games for a long time. And I still really enjoy playing this game. I hold it in very high regard. It is, I think technically you can call this a survival horror because there's no shops. You can't go and buy ammo for your weapons. You can't buy healing potions. You can't do any of that. Very cinematic, great graphics, great music, some very unique enemy designs. I think unique is a good word for it. Yeah, no, this is great. It's a modern sci-fi horror kind of thing, and I love it. Another game that I bought on a whim, and I must have bought this used because I don't have a box for it. Saga Frontier 2. We did have a Let's Play of this quite a while ago, and got lost when the channel got shut down. Oh, let me rewind a little bit. We talked about this, but I want to make sure we get them all included. That light. For the PlayStation games, Blasto, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Origins, Tactics, Jersey Devil, Lunar, Medieval 1 and 2, and Parasite Eve all have Let's Plays, both on YouTube and at the website. Okay, back to Saga Frontier 2. This is an interesting game. It's very interesting. It's an RPG, turn-based, kind of. Sometimes tactical, sometimes not. There are 2 storylines that happen in the game. One is like generational, and the other one kind of fits inside that. It can be very confusing if you're trying to play it chronologically because of that. It has some of the most beautiful backgrounds I have ever seen because they're all hand painted, and it has an incredible soundtrack. This is a phenomenal game, but it gets very hard at certain times. I need to replay this, but yeah, great game. Another game with pretty good gameplay ruined just by all the talking is Star Ocean: The Second Story. One of my first ever console Let's Plays, back before we could record PlayStation games emulated because it really didn't work very well. This is a game I picked up pretty much just by chance it said Enix, so I thought that's going to be pretty good. And it's odd, because it used to be if a game said Square or Enix, I thought I was getting something good. And now if a game says Square Enix, I usually don't want to play it. Role-playing game, 2 different paths based on the main character you pick, a bunch of characters you can recruit or not. Overall, just a really pretty good game. Tri-Ace and Monolith worked on this, the same people who worked on the Bat and Kaitos games, so the voice acting is kind of all over the place. Music's okay. Story's okay. Got a little sci-fi in with its fantasy. There is a Let's Play of this on the website, and also a Let's Play of Star Ocean, the game that preceded it. Now we're starting to get into some games, just a couple, that I picked up because they were cheap. And this one is Star Wars Masters of Terraskazi? Kazi? What something? It's fighting game. It's a Star Wars fighting game. Look, there's that Boba Fett fella that's so popular, even though he was on screen for like 5 minutes total over the course of 2 movies, and the most notable thing about him was a jetpack and he got eaten by a worm. He had a joke death, ladies and gentlemen. I played a little bit of this. Not this because it's still taped shut, apparently. Yeah, tape right there. But I downloaded it and played a little bit of it, and it is awful. It is absolutely terrible. But it was only $2. I may have overpaid for it. Why this one was cheaper than Star Wars, I don't know. Twisted Metal 2. This one was only 99 cents. I don't know much about the Twisted Metal games. I think I played the first one, maybe, on PC. Seems familiar. But I don't know anything about this. But it was $1. So I grabbed it. Another game I purchased solely based on the box art and also the publisher is this one right here. Vagrant Story. Love this game. I love Vagrant Story. This is another game that I would consider to be a survival horror action RPG kind of thing. The combat system is very similar to Parasite Eve. It's more action oriented than Parasite Eve. The character design, the artwork, I think is amazing. The story, I think, is absolutely incredible. The music's really good. Just everything about this game is excellent. And I still have the demo disc came with it. 2000 Collector's CD Volume 3. Preview movie for Legend of Mana. Interactive demo for Threads of Fate. Preview movie for Chrono Cross. Interactive demo for Front Mission 3. Preview movie for Saga Frontier 2. And Chocobo's Dungeon 2. And an interactive demo of Chocobo Racing. Love this game. I would like if there was a sequel to it, but I don't know who I want to make it, because I don't want Square Enix to touch it, because they will ruin it. One of my favorite time-wasting games on the N64 is WCW NWO Revenge. It's a wrestling game, and it's just ridiculous and silly. And so when I found this, I picked it up, and I think it had to have been less than $5. That's WCW NWO Thunder. This was the one that came on Thursday nights, I think, on TBS. I used to watch wrestling. I don't anymore. Full screen wrestler entrances with theme music. Commentary from Thunder announcers. I don't remember either of those names. Tony Schiavone and Mike Tenay. I don't know. We'll see. I've never played it, but there it is. I got it. This is a great picture. It's a great picture. Nice and blurry. Good job, THQ. And my final PlayStation 1 game is a game that I have an odd history with, and not in any kind of meaningful way. But we'll tell the story. I paid $3, $2.95 for Xenogears. This one's old enough that it's a Square Enix release, but the original was not, so I don't know when this version came out. But the game was 1998. So I was on a school band trip because I was a band kid, and we stopped at a GameStop because we were like, let's go to the mall and kill some time, whatever. So I went into a GameStop and they had a copy of Xenogears, and it was in a box kind of like this. I don't think it was a greatest hits, but it was taped shut. And I took it up to the counter and I said, I want to buy this. He said, okay, it's $15, $20, whatever it was. So I bought it, got it home. This band trip was like 3 hours away. Opened it up, didn't have disc 1. It only had disc 2. I'm like, well, hell. I can't take it back to the store. So there was another GameStop like 45 minutes away. So I called them. Yeah, that's fine because it's, GameStop, whatever. So I went in with my copy and I put it on the counter and I said, okay, I just called, maybe a few days ago. I talked to so-and-so. This is my situation. This is what they said you guys could do about it. And the person at the counter just kind of said, oh, that's a bummer, man. And I said, so can you give me my money back? Do you have a disc 1 for this somewhere floating around? What do we do? He says, no, we let you trade it in though on something else. I said, well, I don't want to trade it in on something else. I want the game I bought. No, we can't do that. Said, well, the person I talked to on the phone didn't say that. Well, they probably should have. All right, well, how much can you give me on trade? Keep in mind, I paid $15, $20, whatever it was, like 3 weeks ago. We probably give you $5. So I just left. I think I left the game there and just left. And then many years later, found this. So played a little bit of the first disc. I think I played it emulated because I didn't have a physical copy, but it's got giant robots and that's pretty cool. I remember the music being really good. Next is a game that I didn't know was like official canon, but I guess it is, based on some research I've done. That is Metroid Prime Hunters. Where in the canon this fits, I don't know. I think it's after Prime 1 or Prime 2. I could be wrong. This was given to me. I know I've talked about my buddy Brian, who died, and who I ended up with a lot of his stuff. I think this was in his stuff, and it ended up with me. Now, I do have a DS, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I've never played this. I don't know that I have a lot of interest in playing a Metroid game on a handheld, but maybe we'll have to look into it. If it's official canon and I can emulate it, we'll have to play it for the series. We'll see. But yeah, that's the only DS game I've got. And speaking of a Nintendo DS, here is mine. This is a DS Lite. It's pink, you might have noticed. It's got some problems, you might have noticed. The story with this is, I was asked to go and do sound and do some booking for a cancer charity thing, Relay for Life. The folks who normally did it were not going to be in town, and so they said, hey, would you be interested in doing it? I said, yeah, sure. So I went out and I set up and I scheduled all this entertainment, whatever. And somebody left this on the stage. So I picked it up and I set it aside, and every so often I would make an announcement, hey, Nintendo DS left up at the stage. If you can come up and describe it to me, it's yours. And for like 2 days, nobody came back, nobody asked, nothing. So I picked it up and I brought it home. And for over a decade, it sat in a drawer because I didn't have a charger for it. So finally, one day I'm like, oh yeah, I need a charger for that. So I ordered a charger. And I think I've played either... I've got 2 Game Boy Advance games, and I think I played one of them in it for a little bit, and that was it. And since we're talking Nintendo handhelds, there's my Game Boy Advance. I absolutely hate this thing. I don't like the design of it. I like the color, but I don't like the design of it. I don't like the games that were on it. I don't like anything about this. The screen, in my opinion, is somehow worse than the original Game Boy screen. You've got our L and R buttons, you got your A and B buttons, and the speaker is right under your thumb. Headphones, extension, I thought those were for a lanyard, but I don't know what those are for. Oh, it's for the thing. Hook it up to your GameCube. There's your lanyard slot. On button, take some batteries. I just hate it. I hate it. And I bought it because it was cheap. And bought a couple games for it. One of them being Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. And I finished that game, ladies and gentlemen, and I physically burned it. I took it outside, I started a fire, and I burned it. I hated every moment of that game. And I didn't want to inflict it upon anybody else. Now, much better than the Game Boy Advance is the Game Boy. I had an original, the gray brick one. I don't know what happened to it. I want to say it probably died. And I don't remember where I picked this one up. But I know it works, because I put batteries in it every once in a while and check it out. And I played the hell out of this thing. It's just designed better. I mean, this would be okay. Put the speaker up here instead of down here like it is on the Advance, because here you're not holding your finger over the top of it. You're out of the way. I really like the old Game Boy. It was a good idea. That screen now is probably so bad, but yeah, I like it. Finally, on this shelf is this little guy. And this little guy is a flashback portable. There's my face. For the Atari. I got this as kind of a stocking stuffer one Christmas. And to be honest with you, I haven't done much with it, but it's got a lot of games in it. Some of them I've never heard of. Some of them I have heard of. Pressure cooker. Save Mary. Save Mary. Oh, sorry, that's kind of blurry. Secret Quest. Little Pac-Man. Oh, the fun times we had, ladies and gentlemen. Get back out of there. Oh, that's not the Pac-Man I thought it was. I thought it was the bad Pac-Man, which I actually kind of liked. Strip off. One of these had a bizarre name, if I remember right. Demons to Diamonds? No. Fatal Run? No. Fun with Numbers. Haunted House 1 and 2. Yeah, anyway. It's a neat little thing. The D-pad is terrible. Reset button, start button. TLPSRA. Got volume. You got an AV out. Mini USB charger. It'll take an SD card. And headphones. It's a neat little thing. Not a game or award winning in any way, but pretty good. Over here are some Xbox 360 games. And we're not going to bother to take any of those out and look at them because I haven't played any of them. I haven't even taken my Xbox 360 out of the case or out of the box, I should say. It was given to me with an Xbox One and some games for both. Now, the Xbox One is in the house hooked up right now, so I will pull those in, and when I do, we'll come back and look at those. But for now, we're going to skip those. We'll get into them later. Now all that's left is a bunch of PS2 games and some consoles. You have a thing like, why do my feet hurt? I'm coming back after I wrapped up the video to make this part to insert into the video because I had to go get the Xbox games. And the PlayStation 2 games segment was like an hour. Jesus Christ. So let's look at Xbox 360. I have played none of these games. The 360 is still in a box in storage. The Xbox One is out. I've played one of those games. So let's look at it. Borderlands and Borderlands 2. I think these are, what do you call them? Like looter shooters? I don't know. Kind of comic booky, cartoony art, I think. I don't know. Honestly, no idea. Destiny, the Taken King. Some of the most generic box arts in all of box art. As games have gotten more and more advanced, box arts has gotten more and more boring. Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. Also includes Diablo 3, the Ultimate Evil Edition. I have played some Diablo 3, and I think... Oh, we didn't look at 2 other games. I just remembered. We'll look at those now. We'll look at them after this. We'll talk about this in a minute. Excuse me. We have Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 4, I think. It includes survival pack content. Zombies, I guess. I don't know. Portal 2. I guess. We have Saints Row 4. I know nothing about this. Superpowers, rain down destruction. Customizable weapons. Zen invasion. Okay. Sleeping Dogs. It's Square Enix. So who knows? Undercover Cop. Infiltration. Criminal Empire. Okay. Okay. And then for the Xbox One, we have Halo 5 Guardians. Destiny again. Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls Ultimate Evil Edition, again. And Dragon Age Inquisition. I think I've played a Dragon Age game, and I think it was on the PC, but I could be wrong. Of all of these, I have played Diablo 3 on the Xbox One, and it's fine. But that brings me to the 2 PC games I have up here on the shelf. Well, really, it's one PC game. It's Diablo 2 and the expansion. With codes, if you want to use them. They probably don't work anymore. I played so much of this. I'm surprised these discs even still work. Diablo 2 is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Back then, Blizzard had this thing where they made a really strong first game. Warcraft 1, really strong game. Diablo 1, really strong game. And then they just like exceeded expectations like you would not believe with the sequels. Warcraft 2, oh my god, is so much better than Warcraft 1, and Warcraft 1 was great. Diablo 2, oh my god, so great. StarCraft, so great. StarCraft 2. Well, hold on now. And then Warcraft 3. Well, hold on now. And then Diablo 3 is like, I'm sensing a trend, you know. I don't know anything about Diablo 4. I haven't played it, but it seems to me like they peak at 2, or at least they did till they got to StarCraft 2. And then everything just kind of started going sideways and then trended down. So that's my thoughts on that. But Diablo 2, I love. It is my favorite Diablo game. It's just so much fun. It is so much fun. And anyway, that finishes that little bit. I'm going to kick it ahead to past me to wrap up. All right, folks, home stretch. PS2 games, couple of consoles, and we'll get to the Xbox games later. But let's start with the PS2. I'm going to pull 3 off the shelf here because they all go together, and I'm a little annoyed that they all go together because there's a 4th one and I can't get it because it's $8 billion. That's .hack. I have Infection, Mutation, and Outbreak. I do not have the 4th one, Quarantine. I was introduced to these, I believe, by Nakatalili. And just throughout the course of history, you know, I'd pick up 1, I'd pick up 2. It's an interesting game, not in terms of gameplay. The gameplay is pretty basic little RPG thing. But the story is very involved. And for whatever reason, well, I know why, Bandai decided that you were going to get part 1. And then later you were going to get part 2. And then later you were going to get part 3. And then you had to get part 4. So what has happened is there's a bunch of this one. There's slightly less of this one. There's even less of this one. And the 4th one, good luck. I think between all 3 of these, I may have spent 30 or 40 bucks. The last time I looked up to see how much part 4 was, it was like $280 or something like that. So I will likely never get away with getting it. Why they couldn't have just stuck it all in 1 or 2 discs on the same thing, I don't know. Because I think it would have fit. Because gameplay wise, there's nothing really different from disc to disc. It's just the plot. There's a lot of cutscenes, but would have been okay, I think. So you play Infection first. You finish the game. You make a save. You start Mutation. You load your Infection save into Mutation. Same thing to Outbreak. Same thing to Quarantine. There's a second series called .hack GU, I think. I know nothing about that one. So I've played the first one to completion. I don't know how long ago, but that's what I know. Yeah, I've got another set of 3 because they're basically all the same game. Kind of, sort of. First we have 007, Everything or Nothing. Haven't played this one. It's Pierce Brosnan. I didn't like him as James Bond. 007, Quantum of Solace. Streamed a little bit of this one. Do like Daniel Craig as James Bond. And then GoldenEye, Rogue Agent. I swear there's another one. I was looking for it. I can't find it. There it is. I found it. Okay. Rogue Agent we did stream, and this one's ridiculous because we're not James Bond, good guy. That's the Spectre little thing there. So we're a bad guy. We do bad guy things, and it's kind of silly. They're all pretty much your standard well, not all first person, but action shooter James Bond kind of games. This is 007 Agent Under Fire. I know nothing about this one. I don't think I've played this one at all yet. But I know this silhouette specifically because that's the one Outsider who does This Is How You Don't Play videos used that for a very long time. So there's all my PS2 James Bond games. I mentioned we were going to get into some games that I picked up and hadn't played, and mostly I got them because it's either something I recognized or they were cheap. This is one of them. It's Ark the Lad. I know nothing about this other than it's a series, and I think it's on the PlayStation 1. There's a lady, and she's got a octopus statue. No, excuse me, that's a lady. That's a lady with a lady. This lady's upside down, and her hair looks like tentacles. There you go. Anime. That is very hard to read. The tie that reunites two men is the one that could destroy their world. Okay, I'll bet it's those two men. If I had to venture a guess, I'll bet it's those two. This one is a game we streamed. Apparently I paid $6 for it, and I think I probably was overcharged. Midway made it, though, so you wouldn't think it'd be that terrible, but it's Area 51. And this was a first-person, third-person shooter that takes place in Area 51. And, yeah, there were aliens, and we had to shoot them, and it was kind of silly, if I remember right, and kind of bad. Kind of bad. This one I picked up just because I'm familiar with the cartoon, the IP for the cartoon. I haven't played it yet, but based on the look of it, it's not a game I would really enjoy. This is in with that medieval Blasto Jersey Devil crowd. Asterix and Obelix. Kick buttocks. And I don't know if you can tell, these are nice and sharp. That's furry. And I don't know why that's furry. This is a Dutch cartoon, I think. Maybe French? Belgian? I don't remember. Yeah, they're familiar, so I grabbed it. It was also probably less than $5. And it's from Atari. Back to old Ubisoft, and this is a game I actually was going to record for a long time, and then I found it on PC, so I bought it. But unfortunately, I can't get it to be in any language other than French. And if I had to subject everybody to hours and hours upon hours of French, I think I can be arrested for that. And I would rather not be arrested for that. But I think this was a Chip and Ironicus. Chip Cheesem and General Ironicus played through this. And it looked so good, Ubisoft aside, that I had to get it. It's beyond good and evil. And I actually think I paid less for the PC version than this. So it's a little kind of that 3D action platformer thing, which I don't usually love. But I seem to recall the story being very good in this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. We may never know. When looking up good role-playing games for the PS2, this one showed up quite a bit, so I was lucky enough to find a copy. So I got it, and it's Dark Cloud. What is it about? I don't know. That looks kind of like Link a little bit. Is it an RPG? Is it a Zelda thing? I don't know, because the one I got is just a printed off one. Probably, again, paid $5 or $6 for this at the most. A lot of these say Blockbuster. We didn't have a Blockbuster out here when I was a kid, so. What I think I know is Level 5 made this. And Level 5 has made some other games that we'll look at here in a little bit that are really good and I really enjoy. So maybe if I ever get around to playing this, we'll find out if this is good too. The next game, though, not very good. You're dead to rights, man. I forget this guy's voice. $2.95 for Dead to Rights from Namco, and I feel like I paid too much. I was exposed to this game, and I think that's the only real honest way you can say it. I was exposed to this game by Slow Beef and Diabetes. They Retsu played this. They played it. It wasn't anybody else's. I think Slow Beef played it. And It's very much an over-the-top, what's that? Like Max Payne kind of thing. With just a lot of really weird decisions. So that's our hero, not Max Payne. And that's his dog, Shadow. And Shadow is the win button. You target an enemy and you push the Shadow button, and Shadow goes in, attacks the enemy, and takes him down. And if they've got a weapon, Shadow brings you back the weapon. And there's a stripper rhythm game in like stage 2. It's very strange. It's not very good. It's very over the top. You know how them Square Enix people are with their, hey, what if we did this? What if we did this? What if we did this? What if this happened? What if this happened? I'm thirsty. I want his. He doesn't like me. No. Whatever. Dirge of Cerberus. I picked this up before I realized just how horrible Square Enix was going to be about this stuff. And I did play most of this. I think I almost finished the game. I believe Stephen Blum is here providing the voice of Vincent, I think. If not, he's in the game somewhere, because he only has that one voice. And it's everywhere. A weird action RPG kind of thing where you play Vincent here, and you can limit break, and there's this entire game retcons Final Fantasy VII in one way or another. And then they released another Final Fantasy VII spin-off, which retconned the retcon of the retcon, and then they keep remaking and re-releasing Final Fantasy VII. Make something new, guys. You gotta stop. Like, even movie studios have gotten to the point where they're like, you know, I think we've milked this poor superhero thing enough. We need to stop. So now they're doing video games. I think that's where we're going. And you'd think 20 years plus, they'd give up on this and go give us something new. Nope. We're stuck with more Final Fantasy VII. Here we have a mystery box. What could be inside the mystery box? Snakes. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't snakes at all. It was Dragon Quest VIII. Journey of the Cursed King. Level 5 made this. Same people who I'm pretty sure did Dark Cloud. And they also did Dragon Quest XI. Did they do 11? I think they did 11. Somehow they're involved with 11. And every game I have played that Level 5 has worked on has been great. They are a phenomenal company. And I wish they were doing more. They're really, really good. After Dragon Quest VII and the utter disappointment that was it, I was very hesitant to get into Dragon Quest VIII, and God, 8 just blew me out of the water with how good it was. It was such a good game. And then 9 was pretty good. It was different. And so I didn't know what to expect from 11. And when 11 was basically 8-2, I mean, it's not the same story, but everything 8 did right, 11 kept. And everything that 8 could have tweaked, 11 tweaked. Is perfect. I love this game to death. I think up until 11, this was my longest Let's Play, and it was like 120 hours, I think, or 120 parts, one of the two. It's ridiculous how much there was in this game. I love it. I need to print out a thing for it. I want to say Ragnet sent me this. He probably stole it from work, knowing him. Sticky-fingered man that he is. No, I'm kidding. But I do think he sent it to me. Dynasty Tactics. And he did used to work for Koei. So that's exciting. This is, well, Koei. Games from Koei that I have played. And there's a Let's Play of his Genghis Khan 2. And then I've got Romance of the Three Kingdoms up there on the shelf somewhere. And that's a Koei game. This is a Koei game. And it's part of that Dynasty Warriors thing, but it's a tactics version of the game. I don't know a whole lot about these other than they are well renowned for really bad voice acting. And I think it's because they don't use union people, if I remember right. I'll get around to playing this someday. Another one I picked up Back when I still had friends. Sniffle, sniffle. Just because this could be a ridiculous game to play. And the more substances you are on at the time, probably the more fun it is. Family Feud, ladies and gentlemen. From Fremantle Media. She was that lady in the stand. And Global Star Software. Customizable characters let you create your own family. Over 1,000 questions. Wow. Amazing. Of all the games we looked at for the PS2 so far, there's only been a Let's Play of one, and that was Dragon Quest VIII, but this is a game that there is a Let's Play of. Sad as I am to say that. Final Fantasy X. This is my least favorite Final Fantasy game. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to question it. I'm glad I played it, finally, just to get it over and done with. But my God, was this game bad. It's just bad. I'm not going to get into why it's bad here. You'll have to watch the tier list for that. But it is just bad. This one was given to me because I know there's no way in hell I would have picked it up for myself. I can't see me ever getting around to playing it, but maybe. Who knows? Probably not, though. Final Fantasy XII. Woo! Way back in the long time ago, I was pretty good buddies on the internet with a young man named Quadraxis. And this is a game I saw him play, and I thought that looked really fun, so I picked it up. That game is Godhead from Clover. Clover, the same people who did Beautiful Joe. And it's a third-person beat-em-up. Kind of got a Fist of the North Star kind of vibe at times. It's kind of over the top and kind of silly, kind of like Beautiful Joe. I think the red hot kick from Beautiful Joe makes an appearance in this. It does in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, because Clover also worked on that. I don't know if they were Clover at the time, but they worked on that as well. This one I feel like I got a deal on, because it was $9.99, and I got it for $5.99, and it's God of War, the first God of War game. I don't really care about God of War in terms of gameplay or story or anything like that, at least until the later God of War games. And then I think Kratos becomes a much more interesting character. But this is just kind of one of those games that you're supposed to have, I guess, so I have it. And speaking of games you're just kind of supposed to have, I have it. Next are a couple of games. I think this was Chip Teasem and Ironicus introduced me to. Pretty sure. If not, it was Nakatalili and Elemental Ogre, but I'm pretty sure it's Chip and Ironicus. And it's Gungrave from Sega. I have two here for a reason. This is, speaking of over the top, like we were with God Hand, this is a very over the top game. I mean, there's your tagline, and it says that in every mission. Disposable enemies, destructible environments, dramatic original animation weaves a dark story of revenge. Super powered special weapons, like your coffin here, which that's what this is a machine gun, missile launcher, a million other things. That's Grave. His name is Beyond the Grave. That's Grave. And he's dead, and he's back for revenge. There's a whole anime about it that could be about a third of the length that it actually is, to keep it interesting, because it just goes on and on and on. But there's a Let's Play of this, if you want to check it out. There is not yet a Let's Play of this. This is by Mastiff, not Sega. I don't even know if I've booted this yet, but this is Gungrave Overdose, which is the sequel. 9 stages, 53 minutes of movies, and an onslaught of mayhem. Kill with elegance to gain points, unlock hidden moves. Red Entertainment is who made this one, so I guess Mastiff just published it. We have 3 characters. So, yeah. One of these days we'll get around to playing Overdose, because there's another one I have on PC, and I'd like to play it. I'd like to play them all. Maybe one day we will. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. This is just another one of those kind of like staples of the console, so it was cheap. $5. I grabbed it. One of the first PS2 games I specifically was keeping an eye out for, and one I paid way too much money for, because one of my PS2s, we'll talk about that later, ate the disc, which, thinking about it now, is kind of funny, is Jaws Unleashed, where we play as Jaws. Unleashed. This was $15. We are Jaws. It's our job to eat things and smash boats and sneak and chase and escape and destruction and free roaming and so many things. So many things. You are Jaws. And I just thought, that's ridiculous. I need to get that because that's so ridiculous it should be fun. So I got it, and it wasn't very fun. It was very difficult to control. And, well, my previous PlayStation decided to eat into the disc. I can probably fix that. I've got another one we're going to look at later that I'm going to test some repairs on. And if it fails, it fails. I don't really care. Look, everybody. It's Kingdom Hearts from Squaresoft, not Square Enix. Kingdom Hearts is a pretty decent little game. The story is ridiculous. The whole idea behind the thing, the premise is just nonsense. But gameplay-wise, it's pretty fun. As long as you don't think about it too hard, it's okay. And then Square Enix happened. And now this game set itself up with some fairly well-defined rules, for the most part, about the universe that we live in and how things work. And then this game came along and said, but I don't want to. And so it just changed all the rules. And then I guess there's like 7 other games in the series now that span 9 different platforms, and each one of them just, in order to make that game's own story work, things happen that make none of the other games' stories work. For example, Kingdom Hearts. If you lose your heart, you become a Heartless. That's it. Kingdom Hearts 2. If you lose your heart, you become a Heartless and a nobody. There's no nobodies in this game. There's nobodies and Heartless in this game. And that's just one thing. That's the most glaring thing. Now, I have played through the first game, and I kind of enjoyed it. It was pretty good, and maybe someday we'll Let's Play it. I don't know. I have not yet played the second game, but I watched some Let's Plays of it, and Square Enix. I've done so much talking today, I don't want to anymore. The next game by IDOS and Fresh Games is Legaia 2 Duel Saga. As in duel, not duel. I picked this up because I had Legend of Legaia for the PlayStation 1, and it was a very interesting but difficult game. A lot of these games have got crud on them. And I don't know what it is. I need to wash them, I guess. Legaia, Legend of Legaia at least, is weird. It's an RPG, but you have to like input combat moves like high punch, low punch, jump, block, dodge, low kick, high kick, and then if you do it right, you do a special move. But it's not free-flowing like a fighting game. You actually have to input, like, you have a stamina bar, and you have to fill up the stamina bar. It's very hard. I remember it being very hard. And I remember I had to quit playing it, because as hard as the game was, I did make it fairly far, and then something happened and I got soft locked, and my physical game disc and all would not go past a certain thing. It would get to a thing and it just freeze. And I wasn't going to start the whole game over because it was so hard. So I picked up the second one. Maybe I'll find the first one again someday. I think I can emulate it. But that's PlayStation 2 graphics, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, people are going to tell you that this looks better than the GameCube. And speaking of PlayStation 2 graphics, from our good friends at Ubisoft, The Legend of Alan Dar. Dar. You have to say it like that because there's an apostrophe. So Dar. That is a face on that guy. And he doesn't look very pleased to have a whatever going on in his palm. And it looks like that's the moon, but that was a sticker. This is one I picked up probably because it was really cheap and it looked silly. Looked ridiculous. And the back of the box. Pretty ridiculous. I probably played it for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes once. We spoke previously about Lego and that Lego Star Wars thing. So I've grabbed another Lego game, and that's Lego Batman. Because, you know, if it's based on the animated Batman, that's pretty good. And I like to think it is. I have not played a single minute of this. Maybe someday. Maybe not. Who knows? Next is a game I'm almost positive Ragnet sent, and I remember streaming this once, and I'm pretty sure I was not in a position to be doing anything because I was under some influences at the time. This is Imagine, Design, Play, Magic Pengel, or Pengel, or Pengel, or something. The Quest for Color. Look, that lady's so happy. This mutant Pikachu is gonna hug a robot. And there's a baby. This is a weird game where you have to, like, you can draw things and then they come to life and live in the game world, and I don't know, man. I don't remember much about this, but it was weird. It was very strange. It's from Taito. Possibly one of the last games Taito made. I haven't heard of Taito in a long time. We're almost 2/3 of the way through, folks. Bear with me. This next game is gotta be the worst game I ever played. Like, that was actually made by a company who used to make good games. I don't understand why this game exists. It's one I have Let's Played, so there is footage of it. You can check it out on the channel, on the website. And that game is Super Ghouls and Ghosts Maximo Edition. I mean, Maximo, Ghost to Glory. I think Scarlett sent me this. I think. Capcom made it. And I am not kidding you when I tell you that this is a Ghouls and Ghosts game, or a Ghosts and Goblins game, or a whatever, with the skins changed. Because our hero Maximo works exactly like Arthur in this 3D action platformer. He works exactly like Arthur. Sword, shield, magic, you get hit, you run around in your underwear. The music is literally Ghosts and Goblins music, Ghouls and Ghosts music, whatever. It is literally that same exact music. And the king here, that is design, that is straight Ghosts and Goblins design. 100%. This game is 100% that. It plays terribly. It has some of the worst boss fights I have ever dealt with in my life. Horrible stage design. Just everything about it is not very good. See, look, there's a little Maximo in his undies. Right there. Just so you know what you're getting into. And there's more of these. I think there's 3 of them total. This is the first one. So you get through the game to rescue the fair maiden, and you can't even rescue her. It's somehow worse than Super Ghouls and Ghosts making you go through the whole game twice. This is somehow worse. And speaking of worse, a game so bad I couldn't even be bothered to get the handwritten label I made right. Mega Man X7, or Mega Man X7, or Mega Manx 7. As I was Let's Playing all the Mega Man X games, I had to get 7 and I had to get 8 because I couldn't emulate them at the time. And 6 left me pretty disappointed. And Mega Man X7 left me even more disappointed. They decided that traditional side-scrolling 2D Mega Man, starring Mega Man, is not how they wanted to go with Mega Man X7. So now we've got a weird 2D side-scroller 3D action platformer combo starring Axel. Because Mega Man is just being, honestly, kind of a bitch in this game. He's really just obnoxious. Like, you just want to punch him, right? It's just bad. Everything about this is bad. There's nothing redeemable about this game. And so when I found out there was a Mega Man X8, I feared for the worst. Ladies and gentlemen, I feared for the worst, and I bought it, and I played it, and this game went back to 2D side-scrolling. It has Mega Man not being a dick. It's got Zero. It's got Axel. Vile is in this. And I gotta be honest with you folks. One of the best Mega Man X games right here. This one is so good. Now, I really liked the first one. I kind of liked the second one. By the third Mega Man X, I was getting bored. Mega Man X3 is very boring. And then Mega Man X4 happened, and I swear, every person who worked on that game was doing it while having a stroke. And then Mega Man X5 happened, and then it's like, Guns N' Roses, why are you here? And then Mega Man X6 happened, and Mega Man X6 wasn't supposed to happen because it was supposed to stop at 5. And then 6 happened, and then everything that happened in 5 just kind of went away. And then 7 happened, and then you wanted it to go away, and then 8 happened. And 8 is so good. 8 is so good. If X1 is my favorite X game, and I think it might be, my second favorite is either this one or 2, because all others are inferior. I've never much cared for the next games we're going to look at, but I bought them because they were, I think, on sale when I purchased them. And this is another series of games where I would rather watch someone else play them than play them myself. And I watched somebody good playing them, and that was Chip Cheesem. And so I really liked them. They're ridiculous. They're nonsensical. They aren't very good about being quite so tongue-in-cheek with their own ridiculousness all the time. I think if they did that a little more, it would be better. But what do I know? Mega Man, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and 3, Subsistence. Yeah, I've not really played either of them, but I watched Chip play him, and he might be the best player of Metal Gear games in the world, as far as I know. He is so good at these games, and really made it a much more enjoyable experience. So, thanks, Chip. You did a great job. Next, we have a game from Atlas, and we looked at a Wii game called Muramasa, the Demon Blade, that I said was very similar to this game in terms of art style, and that game is Odin Sphere. It does kind of look like this, the Muramasa game. I don't know what's going on with this dude. Is it Odin? I can't tell if he's only got one eye or two, but his beard's hanging out from under his thing. Breathtaking art, sprites that almost breathe off the screen, and monsters that span well beyond it. 5 playable characters, each with their own attacks and spells. More than a mere localization, choice of fully voiced dialogue, English or Japanese, intricately spun tale worthy of a place in the canon of classic literature, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think I played a little bit of this. I don't remember much about it, but she looks very familiar. I might be thinking, is it an Atlas game or a Square game? Valkyria, something? I don't remember. So, in that second group of games, we've got a Let's Play of Gungrave, Mega Man X7 and 8, and Maximo. And in the first shelf, Final Fantasy X10. X10, that's the one. The next shelf, down there, we have this, the hardest game in the world to Let's Play. Okage Shadow King. This was recommended to me by Ragnats. He didn't send it to me, because he doesn't dislike me as much as Scarlet does. But this is such a quirky little game. Really interesting art design, pretty good music, dungeons aplenty that are really weird. It's got a good sense of humor, but it's also, you know, fairly mature subject-wise. It's the hardest game in the world to Let's Play because you can't emulate it. It doesn't emulate right. And when it came time to replay this, my first PS2 is the one that ate the Jaws. Well, that's, I think, my third PS2. The third one I ever owned is the one that ate the Jaws disc. So tried to fix it, couldn't get it fixed because I couldn't find the right part to fit that one. So somebody actually got me one off of eBay for Christmas, I think. Christmas or my birthday. It didn't work, so I had to send that back. So then I bought another refurbished one. And finally, we were able to replay Okage Shadow King. And it was absolutely worth it. Zennerworks, I think, is the company that made this. Yeah, it doesn't say. Not even in the fine print. Which is too bad, because it's the only game, I think, that this company made. And it's a really pretty good game. I enjoy it. And if you want to see the Let's Play of it, please do. It's on the site and on the channel. I remember people talking pretty highly of this game when I picked it up, and it's from Rockstar and Bungie. So I thought, well, it can't be all that bad, but I've never been able to get into it because I didn't enjoy the combat of it very much. It's Oni. Very anime-looking lady, doing very anime things. It's a dark future and an uncertain past, and there's no one left to trust. What more do you want in your anime? Intense action anime thriller. Tech Crimes Task Force. Konoko. Her name's not Oni. Haunted by unknown demons, truth threatens to send her over the edge, master the explosive hybrid of hand-to-hand combat, cutting-edge weaponry. Well, I couldn't. But I think I paid $10 for this. A game I bought with every expectation of Let's Playing it for y'all that never panned out because I didn't have a good PS2, and then when I got a good PS2, the game is not very good. But I've got it on PC now, so if we do it, we'll do the PC version. And that game, friends and neighbors, is Psychonauts. Heard a lot about it, heard good things about it, think it'd be right up my alley, but I unfortunately never was able to get it to work. And would you like to know why? That's why. It's all scratched all to hell. Now, I believe I can fix this, believe it or not, and I don't have a resurfacer that I think will do it, but I think I can actually heat it up and get those scratches out. And I'm going to try it one day, because if I can, then I'll know I can do it again. But if I can't, well, it doesn't play anyway, so what are we going to be out, really? But yeah, Psychonauts. Much like we had Jack and Daxter, mostly because it's kind of one of those things I think you have to have if you have a PS2. We also have Ratchet and Clank. And edgy Ratchet and Clank. See how in this one he's kind of, yeah, devil may care. Yeah, I'm cool. And this is like, I'm pissed off. This looks like a, you know, this is him joining the rebellion. This is him after the rebellion, and now the rebellion is the bad guy. I don't know anything about these games other than that should be Ratchet and that should be Clank. That's all I got. Talked about Resident Evil when we were looking at GameCube games because I have Resident Evil 0. I have Resident Evil Outbreak on the PS2, probably one I spent just a couple dollars for. I know absolutely nothing about this. I don't even think I've ever seen footage of this game. So I got no idea. I don't know if it's a remake of one version. I don't know if it's its own thing. Events span from Resident Evil 1 through 3. Co-op, 3D graphics, 4-player and online mode. Die and join the zombie ranks. Install game data to the HDD to optimize loading time. Wow. Imagine living in the space year 2003. We mentioned Level 5, who worked on, I believe, Dark Cloud and for sure Dragon Quest VIII. And they've got another game, and it's one I am looking forward to Let's Playing for you guys sometime soon, regardless of Stephen Blum being a voice in it. That is Rogue Galaxy, kind of a sci-fi, fantasy, Star Ocean-y kind of thing, but with pirates. It's an action RPG that I've played a little bit of, and has a robot named Steve. That's all you really need to know. A robot named Steve. We saw Dynasty Tactics earlier, and I think because this seems similar, and it's also by Koei, I think it's in the same vein, but I haven't played this one. I got this one for the high price of $7. Samurai Warriors. I think this one also kind of renowned for having really bad voice acting. It's another one that I bought because it was cheap and I never had the time to play. The next game we're going to look at, I picked up because it was cheap and I thought it was going to be a ridiculous Spyro knockoff. But it's not. This is Scalar. This says, wisecracking 12-year-old Bobby Jenkins has stumbled upon his evil next-door neighbor's plot to use a mutant lizard army to destroy the world. Caught, Bobby is zapped by a bizarre bolt of energy and transformed into his shape-shifting alter ego, Scalar. With no way to call for backup, Scalar has to defeat all of his enemies or risk spending the rest of his life in reptile exile. Ladies and gentlemen, and I think I tried to play this for a stream once, and this game is pretty chewed up, and I think my PlayStation put that nice little ring on it. The lens was screwed. No. Scalar. Did I overpay? Probably. I don't have much of a box for this one. I had to make it myself, so it's absolutely gorgeous. This is another game I purchased because it was kind of one of those that, like, you just kind of had to have it because it was such a thing. And I've played it, and I appreciate the design. I appreciate the story. I appreciate the what they're going for, but it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me because of the combat. And that's Shadow of the Colossus. I think I played for 2 or 3 of the fights, and yeah, that was about it. That's about it. I don't hate it. I think it is an excellent game. It's just not an excellent game for me. I do like to get some ridiculous games every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen. This is no exception. For $5.99. Shadow the Hedgehog. What do I know about Shadow the Hedgehog? He's got a gun. He's Shadow. He's a hedgehog. that's not Shadow, because he's blue and doesn't have a gun. Hero or villain? Okay. Our good friend Ragnats wanted to get into making some Let's Plays and stuff like that, and one of the games he wanted to do fairly early on was this one, and I watched his Let's Play of it. Tried to give him some assistance with the hardware and software and the mechanics of the whole thing for a little while, and eventually bought the game myself because I was so interested in it, and that game is Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Kind of, I think, adjacent somehow to the Persona games. RPG, JRPG, kind of. Features Dante from Devil May Cry 2 somehow. Call it the RPG for the GTA generation. No console RPG to date offers this many choices, this much customization, or so much dark and gritty style. I don't know if I'd go that far. It's pretty good. Pretty solid game. Hard, though. Pretty hard. We talked about Star Ocean: The Second Story, but just wait till you hear about Till the End of Time from Square Enix. I think I played a couple hours of this, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I should probably try and get back into it, since we've Let's Played Star Ocean and Star Ocean Second Story. But it's, from what I could tell, pretty much just Star Ocean on a new platform. Don't know much about it. We talked about some Star Wars before, and we're going to talk about some Star Wars now. First of them being Star Wars Battlefront 2, which... fight more of the greatest Star Wars battles any way you want. I want to use trebuchets with watermelons. Fight as a Jedi, battle in space. I think I played this a little bit. Or I played one of them. I think I have, it might be this one on PC. But it's not so much a Star Wars game. I think it's like a battle, well, not a battle royale kind of thing. It's a, I don't know if there's an overarching plot to the game, you know what I mean? I think it's just, what's that, Hyrule Warriors, maybe? I think it's like that, where you're dropped off in a battlefield and go battle. And then you're done. The other one is Star Wars: The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. Now, I don't know a ton about the 3D Star Wars show, other than I know the guy who voiced Darth Maul in this. I think he was the model for somebody else in one of the other games. He really liked the whole like Clone Wars arc and said something along the lines of, if you're introducing someone to Star Wars, it's best to start them with episode 1, 2, and then Clone Wars, or 1, 2, 3, and then Clone Wars, and then 4, 5, and 6. And he says that'll give like the biggest impact on these characters and their adventures. Don't think we'd ever play this one. Might play this one sometime. I can tell you from what I've seen, this is infinitely better than that Genndy Tartakovsky one, the guy who did Samurai Jack, because that thing is damn near unwatchable. It looks terrible. And he used like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab. He did good work, and then he did that. And just horrible. I know we streamed this once, and I paid $4 for it, and it's from Rockstar. And it's got a warning to check my ID, and I don't think they did. This is State of Emergency. And this is basically just mayhem the game. Topple a corporation or cause complete mayhem. Chaos, hundreds of people fill the screen. Each citizen reacts differently to events. Pick up items, use them to fight off your oppressors. Hand-to-hand fighting moves and tons of super destructive weapons. Awarded top overall game of E3 by GameSpot. Now, I don't know what else was going on the year this came out. in video games, according to this. 2002. Surely there was something better than this happening in 2002, because this is horrible. Even for ridiculous, this is horrible. Speaking of ridiculous, from our good friends at THQ, it's Summoner 2. Not Summoner 1. You can't see it, but she's holding up 2 fingers up there. This is some lady who's a summoner. You can tell by her belly button tattoo. It's got the Diablo font, just about. I picked this up because it did look so ridiculous. It looks like a Frank Frazetta poster a little bit, but bad, you know? That face. She's not screaming, she's going, ah! I like it, ah! Summoner 2. 20 years after Joseph summoned the power of Uroth, you, Queen of Halasar, are to fulfill your destiny and become the goddess Lahara reborn. It's because she's got the belly button tattoo. With the armies of Uroth and the power of King Galdir fighting to stop this prophecy, you must lead your party to the far-flung corners of the world and beyond. Pretty traditional fantasy hack and slash thing. I'm gonna guess, because I don't remember. Another one of those games that I think you just kind of had to have. And for $4, I didn't see any reason not to get it. Tak and the Power of Juju. That's Tak. He's got some Juju. There's Rambi, and he skinned a giant chicken and is wearing its corpse as his own. Every time I pick this up, I think it's a PS1 game, but it's not. It's Tribes. Aerial Assault, a whopping $2 from Sierra. I didn't even know Sierra was still making games in the time of the PlayStation 2. This is from 2002. I want to say I've played this, but I couldn't tell you a damn thing about it. I cannot remember a single thing. Are you ready to get unhinged, ladies and gentlemen? From Atari, Trivial Pursuit, Unhinged. Just another one of them party games. You have celebrity hosts like Terry Bradshaw, Brooke Burke, John Cleese, Whoopi Goldberg, Bill Nye, John Ratzenberger. I know at least one of those names. Multimedia clues, unique gameplay. How is there unique gameplay? It's a board game. Let the trash talking begin. Game Spy, Renderware, blah, blah, blah. It's Trivial Pursuit, party game style. So, what more do you want to know? Other than I'm good at this game. I'm good at Trivial Pursuit. There's one I picked up. I don't want to necessarily say on a whim. I probably paid too much money for it. I don't remember because it doesn't have a sticker on it. It's been a while. It's a Namco game. It's got some German on it, so you know what that means. Giant robots. There's a guy kicking the thing. Kind of has a Star Ocean look to it. It's Xenosaga, Episode 1. The Will to March. I don't know. I don't speak German. I'm just guessing. No, I really know nothing about this. I know the series is kind of sort of popular, and it looks very anime. This guy's either very tired or very sad. That appears to be a werewolf with tentacles and a robot foot. See, there's a guy kicking. There's giant robots. Blood and gore and violence. I would be concerned if there was blood and gore and no violence. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, in the PlayStation 2 series is this little game, which was not what I thought it was. I had something else in mind completely when I saw the title. I was thinking of Ender's Game for some reason, but it is Zone of the Enders, made by that Hideo Kojima guy. That's a giant robot. You may recognize it as a giant robot. And if I remember right, because I played some of this, I think it is very much exactly every giant robot anime ever. Because if I remember right, it's like, oh no, the aliens are attacking. And then our hero is like, I'm going to hide in this giant robot. And so he gets in the giant robot, and then the giant robot's like, hello, pilot. Let's go beat up the aliens. And he's like, no, I don't want to beat up the aliens. I'm a little kid. I'm scared. And then he ends up being the finest alien beat-em-up pilot to ever exist. I think that's this. Or it could be 9,000 other things I've seen. So that's all the PlayStation 2 games. We've got some consoles to look at. I did have one of the original PlayStations. It died. This is a PS1. This is my second PS1 because the first one died. And what happens with them, this one's done it too. There's some little clips on the spindle here, and they break. That one's broken, and that one's broken, and that one's not. That's why I don't use these anymore. We'll get into this in a second, but Sony, not really great. So this is, I think, my 5th or 6th PS2. It came refurbished from Lukey Games. I added some extra feet to it because it was missing a couple. This one actually works, which is handy. So those scratches on the other ones, what was happening is that lens was not positioned correctly. So it would pull out and it would spin and it would grind into the thing. So my last PlayStation, the slim one like this, I took apart, I tracked down what was supposed to be the proper replacement. I replaced it, didn't work. So I think when this one dies, I think that's it. I don't think I'm buying a PS2 ever again. Because I still have working NESs. I still have working Super Nintendo. I still have this thing. This is a Blaze. This is a very early retro NES thing. Little fake console. Got your power button. Got your reset button. Takes these kind of 9-pin Genesis Atari kind of things. Has some of the worst controllers ever. But you do get 9-volt power. You get your PAL NTSC. You get your audio, and most importantly, you get your VDIO. VDIO, ladies and gentlemen. Wanted to play some NES games, and I didn't want to dig out my NESs, so I think I found this for like $20 online somewhere, so I bought it. It did the job. It doesn't do a job anymore, but I don't want to get rid of it, because I'm weird, I guess. Here we have a Dreamcast, folks. A very yellowed Dreamcast. Did not get yellowed by me. I found this at a thrift store, and I just bought it. Like, yeah, I want that. I don't have one of those. I want that. So it didn't have anything with it. No peripherals, no cables, no nothing. So I had a polarized plug, so that wasn't a big deal. I was able to track down an AV out for it, so that's no big deal. Controllers have been hard. I asked the people at Play and Trade to find me some when it was still around, and they said they would, but they never did. And then they went out of business. And I've just never gotten around to getting more because, I don't know. I just haven't. And I need to because there's no copy protection on this. So any games we want to play, I can just go download and we can play them. I just don't know what's worth playing on a Dreamcast. This is my Super Nintendo. This is my original Super Nintendo. One I got when they were brand new. And it's seen some better days. A little yellowed in some spots. One of these days I'll try and clean that. I just never really cared enough to. This still works. Works great. Works like it's brand new. Sony could learn a thing or two from stuff like this. And last but not least from the shelf, a pair of N64s that are very dusty. I need to dust them off. One of these belonged to me. One of these belonged to my buddy Brian, and it ended up with me after he died. One of these should have an expansion pack in it. One of them shouldn't. I know I had to replace the heat paste stuff on mine because it went bad, and I think the other one probably needs it too. Thinking about it, you know, just top of my head, I'm like, I didn't really play the N64 all that much. But when I actually stop and think about it, I played the N64 a lot. What do I have that I can't show you? Well, I've got a Wii. That's hooked up. I've got a Switch. You don't need to see that. I've got a Virtual Boy. We've done a video or two on the Virtual Boy. An Xbox One and an Xbox 360. Before I wrap this up, I will grab my Xbox One games and bring them out, and we'll look at those and the 360 games. And I'll try and insert them somewhere in here so I don't forget. This shelf is mostly guitar and other instrument DVDs. Azure Lane, Boat Game, the anime, and the blue one right there. That's a recording of an old band of mine. That other band, it was called, at a concert we did in a kind of an opening of a little crummy dive bar kind of thing. Wasn't our finest moment, but it was okay. It wasn't bad. So that's 450 subscribers, everybody, and I want to thank you for sitting through all of this. I want to thank you for sitting through all the crap I do. I super appreciate you guys. I really and truly do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When we get to 500, I've got a project I want to do with Earthbound that's going to involve me playing through Earthbound, me putting a lot of information from the player's guide in it, and digging out the Legends of Localization book that my good friend Jade sent me forever ago. So if you're interested in that, want to see something like that happen, the sooner we get to 500, the sooner we can do it. But please don't be in a hurry. That's going to be a lot of work, and I don't want to do a lot of work. I'm feeling lazy right now. I've been working on this video for like 2 days and several hours. So thank you again very much, everybody. I super appreciate you. Y'all take care. We'll see you later.